Welcome to Mysteries, Myths, and Legends. I'm Taylor.
I'm Savannah.
What's up? Happy Wednesday, my dudes.
Yeah, it's Wednesday, my dudes. Oh my God,
Wednesday, my dudes. Yeah.
is that the right day for it? Yeah.
It is. Yeah. No, it is. How
Wow.
could you ever question?
I haven't heard that in so long. I forgot.
Same. Literally same. The way that people listening might not even know what we're talking about is crazy to me. We actually are getting old.
Okay, let's just not mention it. Let's fly right past that one.
Can we just say rest in peace to Vine? Love Vine, miss Vine. Love TikTok, but it will never be the same, you know?
Okay, possibly RIP TikTok too, but we're not going to talk about that yet.
You keep your mouth shut.
No, you're right.
We're manifesting that we're keeping TikTok because, quite frankly, I won't survive without it.
Oh, honestly, me too.
No, I'm actually being serious. I amongst, I feel like many other people have our addictions. One of mine being TikTok. And if they take that cold turkey from me, I'm going to be unwell.
Yeah, I don't know what I'll do. I guess I'll have to go to Instagram Reels or something stupid like that.
I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Can't be that person. I'm going to go off the grid and you'll never hear from me again.
Oh my gosh. Podcast over.
No, I'm going to still come and record, but that's the only time you'll hear from me.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I'll still be here, but nowhere else will you find me.
Okay.
So I have a note here. I can't remember if we mentioned in the last episode, but in the last episode, it was about to be Pretzel Day, National Pretzel Day.
Yes.
As you may know, it's always a national something day. And so on National Pretzel Day, what did me and Savannah do but go and get free pretzels? Because of course, I mean, if somebody's offering a deal of get something for free, why would we not go get something for free?
Obviously, yes.
Right. And I think it's funny because when we got there, everybody was like, Taylor, you order first. And I was like, okay. And I went and I got the cinnamon pretzel and I got the last cinnamon pretzel.
Yeah. You got lucky.
I did. But I shared with the group.
It's okay. Yeah.
It was delicious. Okay. But
see, and what... Oh, yeah. I think you're about to say the same thing that I was about to say.
Tell them the girl math. Do the calculations.
Yeah. So, obviously we went to Auntie Anne's in the mall to get our free pretzel.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's located inside the mall.
Yes. And unfortunate for us, we went to get our free pretzel, but then ended up spending money at the stores in the malls because we went to Sephora, of course, and all these other stores. We racked it up. See, that's how they get you. That's
exactly. And I also bought a lemonade from the pretzel place.
Oh, see, I didn't spend any money at the pretzel place.
I couldn't be parched with my pretzel.
True.
You know? Had to wash it down with something. Plus, it was so good. But, that's capitalism, I guess. Working its hardest. And advertisement. But, yeah. What's going on with you, Savannah?
Oh, it's just been a lovely day. It's really, I think I'm just enjoying the marvelous weather that we've been having.
Right.
I know it sounds so dumb to say because everyone just talks about the weather, but truly, I'm so excited for summer.
Same. Oh my God.
It's coming up soon, and I'm just like, oh my God.
It's so soon.
So.
It makes me so happy. Also, can I just tell you that I just looked it up because I was like, every day has a national day. Today that we're recording is National Bubble Tea Day. We need to. What is wrong with us? How do we not know this? If you don't know, bubble tea is one of me and Savannah's foundations of our friendship.
No, honestly, true. It is a foundation.
It is a pillar of the community in our relationship. Is boba.
I have a bubble tea shop around the block from me. I need to look up to see if they have any deals. Or anything.
We should, because you know what? If they got some free or on sale boba, listen, honey, I'm down. We'll check on that. I'll make a note on that one.
Yeah. We'll come back to that one.
Yeah, we'll come back. We'll let you know next week.
Yeah. Anything interesting with you? Or we just living life?
Yeah, well, just living life. Typical. Enjoying this weather, as you said. I am going to a music festival this weekend as we're recording, and I'm very excited about
Oh my
that.
gosh.
Yeah. I'm going to see Post Malone and Stevie Nicks and Noah Khan and amongst so many other amazing artists. I'm so excited.
Oh my god. That is going to be so
I just
great.
hope it doesn't rain.
Well, all right, I'm not going to jinx you, but it's not looking great. But
it's not.
Yeah,
but,
we're hoping and wishing for you.
Yeah. Oh, my dogs are out there attacking something. That's not good. Not good at all. Sorry if you hear that. That's just my little doggies being their little protectors. But yeah, no, the rain, it's rain or shine, so I'm gonna be there regardless. But
yeah,
I
mean, maybe it can just bring the vibe though. It could make it better,
right?
Make the music better,
right?
Somehow.
Honestly, true. That's true. And it's not like we haven't endured a music festival before in the rain.
We have.
Went to Warped Tour in, I don't even know what year, maybe 2018, and it literally monsooned the entire day. Never stopped once. We did not have an umbrella. So we were just soaking wet. Like makeup, hair, absolutely ruined. Outfits ruined. My feet have never recovered from that.
Yeah, and I think my hair was dyed pink that time.
It was.
And like pink hair dye dripping down my face.
And we had made like tie-dye shirts. Luckily, they were pink and black. So it went with the vibe of it. But what a time. What a time that was, honey. That was crazy. Yeah. Wow.
See, you're just going to relive it.
Yeah,
it's going to be something very similar.
I don't have dyed hair this time, so it won't be dripping colors on me.
Well, yeah.
But
there's that.
Okay, I do have one piece of news to share with everyone. If you have not been listening the past couple of weeks, I did in fact get into a car accident and lose my car, who was named Janice. Rest in peace, Janice. I think this will be the last time I'll say this, at least for now, on this podcast. But rest in peace to Janice, for real. She was a real one.
She was the realest.
Truly. But I wanted to announce, because we have finally found my new car's name.
Yes, we have.
And I am so pleased to tell you that her name is Stacy. Oh yeah, we love Stacy. And so far she already has another nickname, which is Big Stace.
Yeah.
And it's just funny. And if you want to know the reasoning behind the name, it's because she looks like a mom car. And specifically a soccer mom car. And I'm like, okay, who's got the best mom? Stacy's mom. So, therefore, was born Stacy. So, we love Stacy. Many road trips will be had with Stacy.
Yes. Yeah, I'm excited for it, honestly. I've already driven around with Stacy many a time. Actually, yesterday we went and got some we got some ice cream and had some ice cream with Stacy. So.
Yeah, listen, if me and Savannah have a bad day, we will not hesitate to treat ourselves.
That's so true.
We did, and let me tell you, I haven't had Cold Stone in such a long time. That was so good.
That was the highlight of my week, probably.
And you know what's so funny is I was wondering why my stomach was so messed up this morning, and it's definitely because of that ice cream.
Well, there you go. Sorry.
It was worth it. Hashtag worth it. But anyway,
Go ahead. Oh, sorry. I do have one more thing about we have a go check out our TikTok, because we are posting a TikTok. Or we should have already posted a few by now.
Yeah.
So if you missed that, go check out our TikTok.
Regardless of where you are in your life, you need to stop right now and go look at our TikTok, because we're bringing it back. While we still have her, we must use her. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, exactly.
So we have some videos lined up, and I'm not lying to you. They're some of the best, funniest videos I've seen in a hot minute. So I'm not going to spoil anything else, but you just need to go look at our TikTok. So
yeah,
that's that on that.
Go check it out.
Myths_podcast, in case you're curious, but it's also listed below in the show notes if you need to look it up. And speaking of the show notes, if you don't mind, go rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, please.
Yes, please.
But Savannah, if you want to slide on into your story.
Okay. We're gonna get into my story now. And honestly, this week I'm excited to talk about this because it's a legend that I think probably all Americans would know. It's like a big legend in America.
America, okay.
Johnny Appleseed.
Johnny Appleseed, my man. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I'm surprised we haven't really like covered him yet, because I feel like we've talked about it maybe like a few times.
I feel like the name, okay, maybe it's just like the name Johnny Appleseed comes up, but I feel like we've mentioned him on here before.
Yes. Yeah, I think we
in what context? I have no idea.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know either. I was going to try to look it up, but I was like, how am I going to do that? So
listen to all 158 episodes we have and try to find it. Good luck.
Right. So, okay, I guess I'm going to start off by asking you, Taylor, like, what do you know about Johnny Appleseed and like what the legend of him is, just like basically?
Okay, it's really honestly been a really long minute since I've thought about Johnny Appleseed. So I can't lie to you, I'm not sure I remember that much, other than the fact that I don't know, did he like, okay, you have to tell me if I'm really off. I could be so far off. Okay. But he might have did something with George Washington's teeth.
Okay, you are off with that. What do you mean?
I don't know. Okay. See,
I think you're just saying because George Washington had teeth from a cherry tree or something.
Maybe. Okay, is that even true? I don't know. That's another myth we're gonna have to explore one day.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, actually, let me just say I don't know. I can't remember about Johnny Appleseed.
All right. So this is what I sort of knew about him before I started this, is that he traveled around America planting apple trees.
Okay. Well, yeah.
So, yeah, that's basically.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, he was sort of just like a legend. And he also like, in the legends, he would wear like a pot on his head. And just, you know, was a character.
He would wear, okay, did the pot have apples in it?
No, like a cooking pot.
Oh, yeah.
You never saw like the...
Yeah. No, I'm picturing it in my head, but I'm just like, why was he doing that?
Yeah, I don't know. That's just part of the legend. So we'll get into like if that's real or not. And also, is he a real person or not?
Is he? Yeah, I don't know.
So yes, he actually is based off of a real person. So we'll start there.
Okay.
So Johnny Appleseed, originally, like his real name is John Chapman, and he was born in Massachusetts in 1774. So back in the day. Mm-hmm. And some say that he was like the first environmentalist because he would go around and, you know, plant these apple trees.
I mean, yeah, that is very good for the environment.
Mm-hmm. You know, according to most legends that talk about him, they say that his dream was to grow so many apples that no one would ever go hungry.
Oh,
but
Johnny.
You know, I'll get into why that might not be 100% of the reason, but I'll come back to that a little bit later. So the legend shows that he is like a wanderer. He's planting seeds throughout the country, but he's also like sort of a businessman with his planting as well. He's more like structured than people gave him credit for. Okay. And over a period of 50 years, he would like I see some places say that he bought and sold land, but then some say that he sort of just like took the land before, you know, anyone was there.
Mm-hmm. Anyone, quote unquote.
Yeah, to like, yeah, well, yeah, true. To grow the apple trees, but yeah, I guess I'll get there too. I'm just still in the introduction. So his adventure with planting these apple trees began in 1792 when he was 18. He and his brother, his half brother Nathaniel, who was 11 at the time, they both headed west because that's what you did back then, just head west. And they traveled for a while, and then when John was in his early 20s, he started traveling alone, and Nathaniel stayed home to help their father with the farm. So he was just by himself, wandering out west. So John, he moved to Pennsylvania. From there, he went into the Ohio Valley, and then he later went into Indiana. And he just would go farther out west and plant as he went. And he actually introduced apple trees to large parts of Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, and also Ontario, and the northern counties of West Virginia. So that whole area.
Oh my God, he really went through a lot.
I know, and you have to imagine, like, he's walking.
Yeah, he does not have a car.
He
does not have Stacy to help him out.
And I doubt he had a horse or anything either. Like, maybe, but
that is crazy.
I mean, I guess he could have a horse, but
I would say he probably had a horse, but that's still crazy.
I feel like he's walking a lot of the time, though.
True.
He always carried a leather bag filled with apple seeds that he collected from cider mills for free. So he kind of just like took them.
Oh, nice.
And so like I said before, like legend says that he was constantly planting them in places in the forest or along roadways or by streams. However, like the research actually suggests that he created nurseries, or like basically he was making tree farms by collecting or selecting the perfect spot to plant these trees, and then he would fence it in with fallen trees and logs just to like block off the area, and then make rows just like you would in a garden. And then he would come back at regular intervals to, tend to the area. And then he would get the trees and he would actually sell them to people.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So he would get these seeds for free and then grow the trees and then sell them. So he's basically turning a profit for, not spending any money.
That's a good business model. Back in the day, I'd say Johnny Appleseed.
Yeah, exactly. And he got the name Appleseed Man, and then later Johnny Appleseed.
Love that for him. Yeah. I really do. That's a really cool name.
Yeah, he's a businessman.
Yeah.
And over the years, he went and visited like the settlements in the areas, and people really liked him. They would let him hang around and stuff, and he actually he was friendly to everybody. He was also very religious though, and he would preach to people along the way.
Oh, interesting.
And some people didn't like this part of him. They would be like, okay, like we're not here to have a preacher preaching at us. But so he was kind of like a missionary of sorts in a way.
Yeah.
And he was basically a missionary for the new church, which is a Christian denomination.
Okay.
I don't really know much about it, but
yeah, and I've seen there's a new church near us.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But I don't know what it entails.
Well, that's what Johnny Appleseed was. He was from the new church.
Wow.
Yeah. So so getting into like what he sort of looked like, he was of medium height. He had blue eyes and light brown hair, and he was slender and like wiry and alert, people say.
Mm-hmm.
And
so
people
like
also
man. No, I'm just kidding.
People also said that he looked funny because of the way he dressed, though.
Oh, how did he dress?
Yeah, so he would actually just like wear people's old clothes, basically. Like he would trade the apple trees. So he would sell his apple trees, but he'd also trade them for clothes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So he just used like people's old clothes, and so he's like wearing these raggedy clothes.
I mean,
And
these people are hating on my man who is just a hustler.
I mean, and he also, legend says that he wore coffee sacks with holes cut out of them for like his arms, you know, like as a shirt or something.
Yeah, that.
So like, I
fashion
mean,
statement.
yeah, and he also rarely wore shoes. So, like, this man's traveling all around, no shoes though.
His feet, I would hate to see him.
No, oh my god,
I would
the
literally
research
hate.
from what I was looking up, his feet were gnarly.
Oh god, I cannot imagine. That is sick.
Like, it was said that he could walk over ice and snow barefoot, and that his
you just literally choked me over that because I was like, wait, wasn't he in Canada?
No, yeah, exactly. Like, he's just not caring, not a care in the world. He's just, you know. And apparently his, they say that the skin on his feet was so thick that even a rattlesnake couldn't bite through it.
That is so sick. I hope you know how much that grosses me out. I don't know. Like, I have really hard feet like that, and so, like, I can't, like, and I do not walk barefoot, you know? Like, ew, I can just picture what his are like, and that is so disgusting.
Right, yeah. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So yeah, he has just, like, really tough feet. And another legend says that he wore a pot on his head as a hat, but this is, like, probably unlikely.
Yeah.
Because, like, yeah. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. Like, yeah, you're going to carry it around for cooking or something. But he probably wasn't wearing that. He probably had somebody else's old hat, just like he had all their old clothes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And he didn't have a house in his adult life ever.
Okay, me.
So he rarely slept in a house.
Where did he sleep?
He preferred to sleep on the bare ground, just like on the ground, in open forest, with his feet to a small fire.
John, can your feet even feel the fire? I don't know.
That's making it tougher.
Oh my god.
Sitting by the fire.
That
honestly, like, that does seem like a vibe, but at the same time, you gotta think about all the bugs and stuff.
No, that couldn't be me. I'd like a 5-star resort, please.
Well, I mean, yeah.
But I mean, people are actually like that. You know, they love. But I don't know anybody who would be barefoot and then sleep also outside.
Yeah.
On the hard with nothing else. That's crazy.
Yeah, so basically he's just like a homeless person. Just like around the countryside.
Yeah. I mean, at least he was spreading apples.
Yeah, he was. I do want to mention something about the apples, though. I didn't know where to fit this in, so I'll just fit it in here. So, the apples that he was planting, they were probably not anything similar to, like, what we would get in a grocery store today. They, wild apples, they actually, most of the time, are pretty sour and, like, don't taste good.
Fun fact, I have a wild apple tree in my backyard.
Oh, do you? Can you eat the apples?
I have, and they are not good.
Yeah, so that's the kind of apples that he was planting. So,
I mean, if I was in a dire need, I would eat the apple.
Yeah, well,
but it's just, like, not good, you know?
Actually, though, people didn't even eat the apples. You know what they did with them, though?
What?
They made alcohol with it.
Ayo, that's one thing you can do.
So, when I was saying in the beginning, like, oh, people never go hungry, that's not necessarily true, because it's like, he's really just planting these trees so people can make liquor with it.
That is hilarious, actually.
Because, like, yeah, people didn't eat the apples back then. Because the reason that apples taste good now, like the ones from the grocery store, is because they're all actually, like, I read this off of an article. It's like a mutation. Yeah. They're all clones. They're all clones of one, like, I guess, mother apple.
The mother
There's, like,
apple.
one, yeah. They're all clones of it, so that's why they all taste the same. And it's just, yeah, it's science.
That's
But
crazy.
but yeah, fun fact, Johnny Appleseed was not spreading apples for people to eat.
What
So,
kind of alcohol can you make from apples?
well, apparently, I don't really know the process,
Mm-hmm.
but from what I read, it like seems like people made it really easily.
I'm guessing wine. I'm guessing like it's
And
like a wine variation.
well, they were saying it's more like a liquor, like
Okay.
strong alcohol, and they called it Applejack.
Oh, me, I'm like, why should I try to make some?
I mean, I
um,
don't know.
Interesting. That is
Yeah,
very interesting.
yeah. So, yeah, the more you know. Um, yeah, I don't know. Well, they also could be making like hard ciders, I guess, with it too, right? That's another option.
Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah, but I saw they would make Applejack and yeah, probably cider too. So yes, that's what people were doing with these trees that he was planting. And, after he was done with his life, living in the countryside and planting all these trees for all these years, he's like, okay, I actually have to settle down and find a house and live somewhere and not just be sleeping outside all the time. So
Mm-hmm.
he went back to Ohio, and he moved in with Nathaniel, his half brother that I talked about in the beginning, that he was,
Yes, 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 yes. I
yeah.
remember Nathaniel.
Yes, of course. So he moved back in with Nathaniel for a few years. He moved back in with him in 1842, and
Oh my
they,
God, that he lived a long time.
yeah, yeah, he actually lived until the age of 71.
Oh my God, shout out to Johnny Appleseed for living. I mean, like I'm saying, it sounds like a joke, but I'm actually being serious
I
because
mean, the fact that he was living like out in the wild for that
that's
long,
what I'm
basically. I
saying.
mean,
How did he not catch
not like,
hypothermia?
yeah,
Like
I know.
genuinely, or like any other plague that was going around during that time. You know,
I don't
like
know.
shout out to him for living.
Yeah. I mean, I guess when you're out in the countryside, you get all that fresh air.
That yeah, that
You're
is the
around less
cure.
people.
The air is the cure.
Yeah. So he actually he okay, so you just brought up a good point though, about him getting sick. He actually was never sick in his life once, they
I
say.
I really truly wish I could relate.
Except for unfortunately what he died of.
Mm.
So he
Mm-hmm.
caught pneumonia.
Mm.
Yes. And on March 18th of 1845, he died of pneumonia.
Oh, that's so sad.
And he wasn't even at home with his brother. He was visiting
No.
his friend in Indiana. He's
Oh,
visiting his friend William Worth. And uh, yeah, he passed of pneumonia.
that's so sad.
There's actually a memorial stone in Fort Wayne, Indiana for him. But it's unknown where his actual like final resting spot is. But
We don't know
but
where
yeah.
Johnny Appleseed's bones are.
I guess not, but we know where he died.
Ooh,
And
the
he died
mystery.
in Indiana, so that's why they have a stone in Indiana. So
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
so I'm guessing it could be, I mean, maybe it's probably there, or maybe they moved him back to Ohio. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Listen,
So
I'll tell you what. I had pneumonia last year, and I thought I was gonna die. So the fact,
yeah.
like,
I mean, he was 71 with it, so
yeah,
I get it. I
yeah,
get it.
I 100% I get it.
Yeah.
That's crazy that he
So
lived his whole life without getting sick, though. Like, do we need to
yeah.
go in the woods barefoot?
I
Like, is that what I'm
I
hearing?
mean,
Like, that's
start
what's
planting some apple trees.
gonna cure me? Yeah. I mean, yeah. Low
Yeah.
key.
And his like tactic for planting these trees was crazy. I probably I should have went into more detail of it, but let me sort of summarize it right now. He basically would like, since everybody was moving out west, right? He would take a plot of land before anybody got to it and then map out where he was going to plant his trees and then get them all planted, and then by the time people got there, then he would have people to like sell them to and stuff. It's just like he's a
Wow.
businessman.
Yeah, truly. Truly.
So yeah, anyway, that is the story of Johnny Appleseed.
Yeah, wow. That is crazy. It definitely came washing back as you were telling me the story
Yeah.
over me. And this is reminding me actually of a trend that's going on now, which I love. That we are seeing 2024 Johnny Appleseeds, but like better versions. Not that he was bad, but like, better. Have you seen on TikTok? It's been a thing for a while. Like we did it in my high school, but lately I've been seeing it on TikTok where like skateboarders and longboarders will get salt shakers or like pepper, any kind of like whatever kind of shaker and fill it with like pollinating flower seeds. So while they're longboarding and skateboarding down the road and like they just like sprinkle it through the grass to like
No, I haven't
plant
seen
flowers
that. Oh my gosh.
everywhere to, help to make more like pollinators for the bees, better for the environment because we're cutting down all these trees. Yeah.
I
So
love that.
I know it's such a cute and adorable little thing. So, if you're bored, maybe go get like a salt shaker and a skateboard and some pollinating flower seeds and just shake them around.
Yes. Yeah. And native to your area.
Yes, definitely native to your area. But I'm like, oh, that's so cute, and that's kind of giving Johnny Appleseed vibes.
Yes, it's giving like the legend that we all thought of
Yeah, exactly.
at
Like,
first. Yeah.
yes, yes.
Maybe not his true
vibe,
self,
yeah,
but yeah.
but the
yeah.
legend vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. What a man, Johnny Appleseed.
I know.
That's like crazy. And like I feel like for our listeners who are not in America, they're like, what in the world are y'all talking about?
I know.
Like, yeah, actually we were taught this in school.
Yeah, we were taught that this man just walked around the
around
US and
planting
planted
apples.
trees.
Yeah. Yeah, that is crazy.
Because
Do I know much about geography? No,
apples.
but I can tell you about Johnny Appleseed.
No, I know, and I honestly thought that he went to more states than that.
I thought he went over the whole entire United States.
Right, me too. But it was just like the northeast, pretty much, and like a little bit of the Midwest, and yeah.
Yeah, they're liars. It's crazy. It really is crazy. The more I learn every single day about what we were taught in school is crazy.
Yeah,
And how much it varies, just even from state to state. Like you versus me is beyond me. Well, I guess moving along from Johnny Appleseed, I don't really know. I was like, what's a good transition? There could not possibly be one, I don't think.
Oh my gosh. I know that you're about to talk about something that's totally different. No?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so before I even tell you the legend, I'm going to tell you that this legend is coming from our good old dear city of Wilmington, North Carolina.
Oh my gosh.
Where me and Savannah met in college. And if you're new here, yes, me and Sav, we met in Wilmington, North Carolina. We went to the same school. And this city just so happens to be haunted for lots of reasons. Lots of history, it's very old. So yes, even though we both moved away from Wilmington, there's always love for good old Wilm, the good old ILM. So it's crazy though that in like the 10 years that I lived there, somehow I'm still finding out new haunted places that I've never heard of before. So today I have for you the legend of the Poplar Grove Plantation.
Oh.
Have you ever heard of it?
No.
Me neither. Until now. Which is crazy. So let's just get right on into it. The Poplar Grove Plantation is a peanut plantation. And it's actually in the middle of Wilmington and Topsail Island, like in between the two. So,
Okay.
if you know that road. So, yeah, the plantation was originally owned by the widow of Cornelius Harnett. And if you recall, Harnett, isn't that a name of a residence hall? I do believe.
Is it?
Or something.
It could be, yeah.
I can't actually remember now. That I'm thinking of Hewlett. No, you know what? Suddenly I don't remember anything. Anyway.
Okay, scratch that.
Unimportant to the story, truly. So yeah, it was just originally owned by this widow, this guy, this random guy. And unfortunately, the original plantation house was destroyed in a fire, which typical.
Oh, shout out from last
Shout
week.
out. Yeah, I know. When I read that, I was like, oh God, I did not do this on purpose. I promise. But it's unsure if people were injured or killed in this fire, because the records of it are kind of lost. But it was rebuilt, and currently it still sits today as a 12-room Greek revival style mansion. Um, so
Oh wow. Okay.
so yeah. Fast forwarding a little bit into the future, when it was this mansion, it became home to the Foy family. And the Foy family was this American family, but they came from like very, very, very rich French descent. So they were very, very rich, very, very bougie. And Joseph Mumford Foy actually built this mansion himself. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, so he like kind of put his own touches on it. He did what he wanted, everything that he wanted with it. And they were rich, so he could, he had the means to do it. So here's what's crazy. The plantation house, the whole plantation, but specifically this main big house, stayed in the Foy family from 1795 to 1971.
Oh my God.
Like, I am not sure I've ever heard of a family house like staying within a family for that long, like over 200
Right.
years.
I
And
mean,
it's still standing today.
Yeah.
Like that.
Like, why is it not still with them?
I mean, I guess somebody, some long down the line Foy member was just like, don't care.
Yeah, or maybe they couldn't afford it anymore or
Yeah,
something, the
or
upkeep.
possibly the Foy family, maybe the bloodline got cut off.
True, yeah.
I don't know.
I guess you never know.
Yeah, and I didn't look into that, but but what I do know and can tell you for a fact is that some of the Foy family are still at the Foy plantation today.
Oh, okay.
But they are not living, if you're catching my drift.
Oh. Yeah.
If you're catching my drift. It's too many years being passed down in the family for there not to be ghosts of the Foy family. Am I right?
I mean, yeah, they all have unfinished business there because, their family's still there.
Exactly.
So they were
Exactly.
hanging on and
Like,
yeah.
they had to. So, but, yeah, there could be others. So, during the time, obviously, that the Foy family, they're growing these peanuts on this massive plantation. Obviously, they own slaves. And
Yeah,
the
unfortunately.
slaves, yeah, unfortunately, I have to say, obviously.
Yeah.
But, so the slaves, their jobs, it was many different things. At first, it started with them just, like, gathering the crop of the peanuts. But then it kind of bled into the family more, like helping with the young children of the family, cooking, cleaning, and then, all the typical things that people don't really necessarily want to do themselves got tasked to the slaves. So, over the years, many additional buildings were added on to the plantation. And so some of them I will list are the smokehouse, the kitchen shed, the carriage house, and the tenant house where the slaves would live. Some people believe that some of the ghosts on the property, it's not only the Foy family that haunt this property, but it's also some of the slaves and the families of the slaves who lived and worked here before. So that's interesting.
I mean, because it's also their families
Exactly.
and that have been passed down
Exactly.
to as well.
Exactly. And that's where you have to stop and think. It's not only just the Foy family. I am sure that whichever original slaves they brought, their long family line also had to work under this Foy family line
Yeah.
just the same amount of time. So really what we have here is more than likely at least 2, possibly more, different families, entire like generation after generation of history happening here on this one land. So there's a lot going on here. So let's just get into the ghost activity. One very common thing that happens that is very much so attributed to it being the ghost of a slave. And also, no names were mentioned. None of the slaves. Not one could I find.
That is so...
And I feel like that's pretty unusual, too. Like, normally we can at least get, like, a good one or two. None. I have none to reference, which I'm so sad to say.
Right, because, like, they got to be documented somewhere. Like, did they not ever write down their names?
I don't know. Awful. And, you know, like, you have to think, like, how long they had it in the family. They definitely didn't care when they first got there, so maybe they were just able to slide by without reporting. I really don't know. I don't know. But the one thing that that people today are absolutely sure has to be the ghost of at least one slave is that people will be at the plantation and all of a sudden you smell the smokehouse like being lit. However, the smokehouse is no longer a smokehouse. So it's not being lit, but it just smells like it is. Isn't that crazy? And I'm actually pretty sure that the smokehouse is part of the museum today. So,
okay.
Like, there are, like, things inside of it, like, so it's just very interesting to think.
So, okay, so this place is a museum now?
Yeah. Spoiler alert. It's actually a museum and event space. Yes, Savannah. I will tell you all about what we're going to have to do today at the end of the story.
Okay.
But yes, we must go here. So other than the smokehouse, which that is crazy. And also we toured a house in Raleigh last year called the Mordecai House.
Yes.
And they had a smokehouse. And that actually happened there too, is that people report they smell the smokehouse being lit, but it's not used as a smokehouse and it's not being lit.
I immediately thought of that, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Because I would be so scared if I started smelling it. And I'd be like, okay, we're about to catch on fire, first of all. Like, we cannot be in this building. But then, actually, it's just a ghost? Like, that's... And, like, is it residual? I don't know.
I guess
it's
so.
Mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. But, yeah. So, unfortunately, that is kind of, like, the only written down, like, for sure thing that they think has to do with the ghosts of the slaves. The rest of the ghost activity is pretty much all attributed to the Foy family, but I just don't know if I believe that it's all the Foy family. You know what I'm saying? People can assume. I mean, people don't really know. It's not like we're having conversations with these ghosts. And they're like, hi, I'm Taylor. Like, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but anyway, moving on. One of the more popular and more well-known ghosts of the plantation is that of Mary Ann Foy. And apparently her bedroom is like a very big hotspot for activity.
Okay.
So I'm not really quite sure how far down the line Mary Ann is in the Foy family and like what years she lived there. This place does not have many records, is all I can tell you. Maybe there's more in the actual museum when we go. We can learn more. But from what I could tell, all I know is Mary Ann, maybe she was a kid, because the things that she does, it's not mean, but it's not nice. Some people say that you can feel her scratch you, or like you will just like feel yourself get scratched by absolutely nothing, and then all of a sudden your arm's bleeding, your legs bleeding, there's like scratch marks all down you, or your hair will get tugged just a little, like, you know, not like Yaga, but like you know, a little.
Yeah.
All the Vine references today. I don't know what is wrong with me. But also apparently in her room, sometimes you can feel like you can't catch your breath or you like start coughing uncontrollably. And some people tie this to like maybe that's how she died in some sort of way. And like that's why you feel like that in that room. So when people do either like feel like they can't catch their breath or start coughing, whenever they leave her room, they feel better almost immediately. So,
oh my gosh.
Suspicious. Very suspicious. So there are other reports of other ghosts as well. And this one, unnamed, unknown of who it is, But this ghost is often found on the main level of the house, and you can smell the smell of a cigar burning when nobody around is smoking.
Oh my gosh.
And so people do assume that it's one of the Foy men,
Mm-hmm.
because they were often known to like smoke cigars in the main level of the house, but we just don't know which one because they kind of all did that. But I'm just like, the smells of this place is just seems to be really popping off. I
I
feel like
know, yeah.
this is like
And
an
it's just like all smoky. Like, ugh.
ugh, like not good, not and like
Can you
coughing,
imagine,
like oh
like,
no,
what it would have been like to actually be there? Like, that.
like
I don't even
miserable
care
kind
how
of.
fancy it is. It's just like smoke
Mm
filled, and then
mm.
there's like cigars and people. And
It's the way that I probably couldn't even have stood in that house without having an asthma attack. like,
right, exactly.
like it's crazy, and it like you have to imagine how much actual smoking they were doing if this is still happening, and like obviously nobody can smoke in there today, like but you
Yeah,
smell
yeah.
it, like that's crazy. Like I can't. I feel like I haven't really experienced any haunting type thing with a smell, you know I've
Oh,
felt
yeah.
things, I've seen things, but I don't know if I've ever smelled anything. So
Mm-hmm.
I would really, really like to get that experience. And we hear about like smelling experiences all the
I
time,
know. Yeah, I hear
like
about it all the time. Like,
perfume.
I feel like that's like a common thing
Yeah,
for hauntings, but yeah, I haven't experienced that either.
no, no. So add that to the list of things that we need to experience in our lives. Smelling a ghost.
Exactly, yeah.
um, so other things that people hear are the sound of boots walking around, like big, heavy, like thomp, 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 walking around. But again, they go upstairs, nobody's up there. Somebody just walking around. So, okay, another really active ghost in the house is said to be that of David Foy. And so, David, there was records on him, of course. He's a man. And he was the Foy's firstborn son. Try to say that sentence 5 times fast. I'm surprised I even got through it, honestly.
Foy's
But
firstborn son. Okay, yeah, I kind of
yeah,
messed it up too.
yeah, it's hard. Um, so David Foy, the firstborn son, he actually rebelled against his father. So his dad was a Union soldier. And David was like, nope, I'm going against you. And so he went and joined the Confederate Army.
Oh, of course you did.
Yeah. So, and I feel like that's crazy that like the original Mr. Foy was a Union, like that of the Union in North Carolina.
Yeah, and also like, why are you part of the union when it's like,
When you're down here,
and you have enslaved people on your
right,
plantation.
right. Well, I feel like they still believed in slaves, didn't they? I don't know. I don't know. But
Wasn't that part of that was part of the whole thing. They were like trying to leave the United States. The Confederacy was trying to leave the United States because
that's true. I mean,
they wanted
you
to
know,
enslave people.
maybe he was just Union for like the looks of it all, but he really believed, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Interesting,
The
very
lore
interesting.
behind the
Yeah.
actual Foys, I don't know. But apparently, it didn't hurt their. I mean, it did hurt their relationship, obviously, while like he was gone and in the army. But it didn't last very long, him being in the Confederate Army, because he was soon sent back home because he got typhus.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it was pretty much only a couple months of
Oh
him
no.
living after he joined the Confederate Army. Then he died in the house of typhus.
Well, that really
So,
sucks.
sure does. And so you can hear him. He is apparently the one who is stomping, but not the stomping I was talking about earlier. That one is like happening on like the second floor. This stomping specifically happens um, in the front office, which is where all of his business was conducted. So if you hear stomping in the front office, you know that's David. And if you hear stomping elsewhere, it's not David, it's somebody else.
Okay.
Allegedly.
Okay.
So, moving on to another Foy family member, Nora Foy. You know, I would explain the whole family tree line, but we would be here for 10 years. So just another Foy down the family line. Um, she was said to have bore 4 children, and all of them died within their first 4 days of life, all in that house.
Oh my gosh, that's
It's
heartbreaking.
I cannot
Like,
imagine.
I can't even imagine making it through a pregnancy and then
No.
your baby dies within 4 days. You said
And,
4 days,
and yeah, 4 days, and she
and
did
then
it four
all of them.
times.
Oh my gosh.
4 times. And so after the fourth time, she was like, okay, clearly I can't have a baby.
Yeah.
So she accepted the fact that she would never have a baby. But then, eventually, you know, circumstances arose, and she ended up having to raise her nephew. So she actually did get to raise a baby.
Okay.
So, you know,
Good.
that's cool, at least. And it is said that her spirit lives on in the Poplar Grove Plantation in the children's upstairs bedroom, which kind of breaks my heart because that's how
Mm-hmm.
much she loved kids. And, you know, honestly, she's probably hanging with her babies up there. You know,
Yeah.
like if I don't really know how it works, but regardless, she's hanging with some kids, and that's where she wants to be. And I have
Mm-hmm.
to just
Mm-hmm.
believe that in my heart because that's how much she loved kids. So that one is cute. And people say that she makes herself known. They don't really give any like specific details of what she does, but they say that she makes herself known, but that she's a good force, but a very protective one. So
Okay.
I don't know what that means. And I wish I could find it, but I couldn't. So I guess we might just have to see for ourselves on that one. But of course,
Mm-hmm.
then we have obviously disembodied voices, knocking, random other footsteps, all the usual typical haunting things, you know. So, as I said, today the Poplar Grove Plantation is a museum slash event space you can visit. I'm pretty sure you can get married here. Don't know if I'd recommend getting married on a plantation, but you know, do what you want to do, I suppose. Um, During certain times of the year, you can do paranormal ghost tours. Okay, $25 a person,
Mm-hmm.
but it's only six, like 6 to 10 dates out of the year.
Oh my gosh,
It's
that's it.
very exclusive. So Savannah, we have
We
got to
have
get on
to.
the list to go.
No, we have to.
We have to. And it's also said that younger children are not allowed on the ghost tours, which I'm like, okay, why? I would like to know why. And secondly, ghost activity is not guaranteed, which I'm like, okay,
Yeah. Okay.
thanks for being upfront about that.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of makes me trust them more, that they say that, you know. And so,
Mm.
yeah, I really want to go. I really want to go.
I mean, we have
Yeah,
to.
I'm
Like,
gonna.
how far up?
I didn't want to mention the dates because I don't want people to take our spots.
Oh, true. No, you're right. You're
They
right.
can find it
Yep.
very easily.
We'll talk about it after.
A simple Google search, you can find the dates of when you can go. And you never know, you might be on the tour with me in Savannah. So
Yeah,
you
you
might
never
want to
know.
try. You never know when we're going to be there. Um, but yeah, that is the legend of the Grove Plantation.
That's so crazy because it's like in the middle of where we lived and we never even knew it.
Literally. And the thing is, the amount of times that I've driven from Wilmington to Topsail are endless. And
And you didn't even know it was there?
I actually think I do know what. Okay, the thing is, driving from Wilmington to Topsail, you see like 15 plantations. So I don't know
Oh.
which specific one it is. I've definitely seen it though, like the sign. At least I've never driven up to it, but yeah, you do pass like a good 10 at least plantations. So yeah, but I didn't know. I didn't really know it was there. And maybe honestly, probably all of them are haunted. We'll have to look into more of them. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah.
Yeah, probably. I wonder if any of them are still like owned by the original family.
I want to know. I want to know. Yeah, because this is not. Or you know what? Maybe it is still in the Foy. No, it's not because it was from 1971. But maybe after that is when it became a museum. You know, maybe they were like nobody else can live in the house. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, crazy. I just can't believe we've never heard about this.
I
Like,
know.
what? Crazy.
Well, I'm
But
excited.
it
We
is
have to go.
beautiful. I will have to say that main house. Oh my, the Greek architecture is everything. Everything.
I need to look it up.
I didn't even look at the pictures on the inside, so I don't even know if it looks creepy on the inside. It doesn't really look creepy on the outside. It looks very bougie, but yeah. Definitely go check out our Instagram to see pictures from our stories this week. I guess, wait, so are there any real pictures of Johnny Appleseed?
Well, I mean, he was alive like before pictures were a thing. So.
Or like paintings?
Yeah, there's like drawings. So
Okay. Like accurate?
I found some that are like probably
Okay.
about accurate.
I just need,
so,
like,
yeah.
I'm picturing what I have pictured in my head. I am 100% sure is not actually what he looks like. Like, I really, truly, it's not. So, yeah, definitely just go look at. I can't wait to personally go look at the Instagram to see the pictures.
Okay, yeah. I'll send it to you.
But yeah, please go rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. But other than that, I don't really have anything else for you guys this week. What about you, Savannah?
Yeah, I think that's it for this week.
Okay, well then I guess we will see you guys next week.
Cue the music.